morning, you beautiful people. Right. This talk has come from me watching an influencer on Facebook who I feel really sad about at the minute because she was going really well in her cocaine addiction and she's relapsed. And I was just listening to her videos, reading her comments and stuff like that. Now, I feel she was probably me in the past, a few years back. Not cocaine though. My addiction was alcohol. Although, if I was fully pissed, you never know what I might try while under the influence. So, what I'm going to say... Right, we're just going to relax this a little bit because I'm getting a bit nervous now. Got my cup of coffee. Look at my Alexa, stop. Look at my little thing that Sky got me, coaster, should I say. Mum, you'll always be my bestie. That's so cute. So I've got my coffee in my Nan mug, always reminding me at my age I'm a nana. Right. So, first of all, addiction is a very, very tricky subject because I feel like addiction comes in all forms. So there's sex, there's gambling, there's food, there's sugar. That's probably the biggest. There's smoking, there's alcohol, and there's Class A drugs, and then weed and pharmaceutical drugs like codeine and things like that. I do feel that alcohol is the most hidden addiction disease because it's actually alcohol in itself. I mean, if you were sat at a seminar or something and said, oh, I'm just going to go get my bag of coke, or I'm going to go get my bag of crack, 1 minute I'm just going to my crack dealer, someone would have something to say about that. But if you said, oh, I'm going to go grab a bottle of wine after here, that's nothing, is it? Even weed is a little bit more frowned upon in society more than alcohol. So, alcohol, yeah, and sugar addiction, that's all put in your face as well. But then there's a lot of sugar in alcohol, so you're not just giving up the chemicals in alcohol alone, you are giving up the sugar in the alcohol. So you have two addictions there that you are battling. How did I, when I look at this, when I watched this girl's video and I realised that she relapsed, how did I get to the frame of mind that I am now? Because this is my third attempt of sobriety, my third and final time. Know that. Well, I'll tell you what was different this time compared to other times. Because other times I was, in 2018, 2017 to 2018, I was quite strong about it. But I wasn't aware. I never learned about how the chemicals in your brain intertwine with addiction. So when your cortisol levels spike, your brain naturally goes for a source of dopamine. It's like a protector. It protects your brain, basically, from having a meltdown. So your first source of relaxing yourself is whatever you've used in the past, which could be a fag, when people get stressed, like, or it could be eat. Oh, let me go and eat quick. Chocolate, I'm feeling stressed. Let's eat some chocolate. Or alcohol. Okay? I'm going to try and do my makeup at the same time as doing this. Multitasking, as women do. But, yeah. So, your body will naturally try to find some dopamine. Now, what I noticed with this girl on the internet is, prior to her giving up her addiction, while in active addiction, she still went to the gym. That is dangerous, right? Because if you're already somebody who does all the gym and all the health kick and all that lot, and you get your dopamine boost that way, then that no longer supplies you with the dopamine you need when your cortisol levels spike. So if you were a gym person in your active addiction, that is not going to help you. That's not, you have to rewire your brain to something else, a healthier source of dopamine, to calm yourself down. There's many layers to addiction. It's not just the brain chemistry. If you have trauma from a child, or trauma from past relationships or anything like that, that is going to come into play. So temporarily, whatever, you know what I'm saying. It's temporary relief to have alcohol, drugs, sugar, whatever addiction you want to use. It's like a plaster over the wound. Temporary. But once you take that plaster off, that wound is still there. It's not going away. So you have to fix inside you, that wound inside you. So you need some type of therapy. You need to do a lot of self-care, a lot of inner work, a lot of shadow work. Because you could have been told from a child that you are nothing and you are no one, and that's been embedded into your brain. So then when you're drinking this bottle and, you know, and all the crap that comes from alcohol, sometimes it's not just that you're drinking it to get temporary happiness. Sometimes it's because you're punishing yourself. And I felt like that was me. So I was self-harming. Addiction, no matter what it is self-harm, because it's affecting you spiritually. It's affecting your looks. We'll go with drugs, alcohol and sugar, right? Food. It affects your looks. It affects your pocket, your money, your finances. It affects your confidence. It affects your internal organs. It affects your brain. So many things. So many things it does to you. So why does somebody keep repeating that pattern? What was it? Something Einstein said about, why would anybody keep repeating a pattern that's damaging themselves? Because they've made a neural pathway wiring in their brain. So you have to rewire your brain. So you have to look into all things to do with brain chemistry and how to rewire your brain. I feel like the best way, right, the first thing you do when you come off alcohol addiction is you tend to want to eat anything that's sugar. Sugar. Because you are craving that sugar. You've managed to battle the willpower with the actual addiction of alcohol, but now you've got the sugar thing. So you're reaching for it. But actually, if you want to do a pure detox on your brain, this is what you need to do. You need to totally stop all gym activities, any other pathway of making yourself feel better, and then you need to stop sugar. You need to watch your diet, start eating plant-based food, cut totally off your sugar altogether, cutting off your alcohol, and go back to baseline. So you're going back to literally like you was when you was a child, right? So you just a baseline level. Then your brain is going to start going, right, we need some dopamine here. We need something to make this brain feel better and make this brain feel good, right? Because our bodies can naturally produce it. But if we're using lots of substances and lots of going to the gym and doing this and doing that and whatever to make ourselves feel better, our body will rely on that source instead. So if you go abstinence from everything for about 2 weeks, and you need a lot of willpower to do this, right? Especially if you're used to going to the gym. I would say go out for a walk every day, okay? Nothing too dopamine catching. So a nice gentle walk out in nature every single day. Not having any alcohol, not having any sugar, not going to the gym, none of that. You want to do it for about 2 weeks. Right. Then your first thing, after 2 weeks, get back at the gym. Right? Your neural pathways will start feeling them endorphins and that boost and start grabbing onto that, and it'll recognise it, and it will use that as the primary source to make yourself feel better. Whatever you reach to feel better is what your brain will call for when you're not feeling that good. Sunshine's brilliant. Get out in sunshine. 10 to 15 minutes. Obviously it's raining and all that now, but 10 to 15 minutes in sunshine, in nature. Wow. Even though it's cold, we've had sunny spells, and I've just gone and walked out. That's vitamin D, that's mood boosting. These are all natural things from years ago. Do you think 300 years ago we had gyms? No, my darling, there was no such thing. We didn't have these little going there and taking videos of ourselves and getting this big massive dopamine boost from them. 1 minute.
Mandy, here is your reminder to water my little plant pots.
Alexa, that is my second brain. Although that one's thicker, honestly. It's good for some reminders, but when you're asking it a question, does it fucking know it? No, it doesn't, and it's annoying. But what was I saying? Yeah, so hundreds of years ago, there was no such thing as a gym. So what did people do? Chop wood, do physical stuff. Everything nowadays, I swear to God, is done for us. Everything is too easy. Everything is laid on a plate. Here you go. You don't use your brain like we used to do. You don't occupy your brain like we used to do. That's an issue. That's why there's more addiction nowadays. How did I know that I was no longer going to pick up alcohol? Because I see alcohol as a disgusting X. You got to get to this place. You have to get to this place. I say no names. I have relatives who have made so stupid remarks like, oh yeah, but I put my kids to bed before I drink, or yeah, but I only have a few and I don't kick off like you did. Well, you should have done. You should have kicked off, because maybe then you would have thought twice about putting alcohol down you, and it won't ruin the inside of your body quicker than it does your life, right? Because if it doesn't take your sanity, and if it doesn't strip you of everything you have, your money, your home, everything around you, your kids, the whole lot, it will fuck your organs up. You're on the pathway of a slow death right there. It's toxic. You have to view that addiction as a dirty ex who has been lying to you, who has been cheating on you, who has been nicking your money, taking your money, abusing you, beating you up, destroying your home, keeping you away from all your friends and your family. Come on now. You know, when you've been an addict and you're ashamed of yourself, you stay away from all your families. What happens when you're in a toxic relationship? They talk you out of being around your support. You lower your confidence. Isn't it like being in a relationship? I see that. You know, when I look at alcohol, I think you're like a disgusting, narcissistic ex. And I cannot believe it's taken me this long to get you away from me. You're a liar. You're a thief. You're a liar. And you need to stay the fuck away from me. And then, when you get to that stage, when you go out in the world, you see what it does to other people as well. And you feel so bad. You feel so bad because you can see other people's lives being destroyed. And you can actually, when they are a little bit in denial, trying to think of the word there, when they're in denial of addiction, you think, oh my God, that was me. I think that was like me. I made excuses up. Oh, it's all right. I've waited till 8 o'clock. At least I've not done it 10 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I've only spent that much. I've not spent that much. Like, the amount of excuses you make when you're an addict is fucking unreal. It's all bullshit. My advice to someone with addiction is look into the chemistry of your brain and try to rewire your brain. Try to get down to the bottom of your trauma. So I was always somebody, this was my excuse, right? So I've got 3 jobs. So I'm doing a care job over here. So say for Isis was quite hard work. She was quite stressful. So yeah, I'm doing, that didn't end well one night after staying overnight at hers and being that stressed. I actually went to a house party the following evening and ended up in a really bad predicament, which opened the door to my recovery now. So there was good that come from that, but still, you need to realise that alcohol is not your friend. It's not somebody you can depend on. It's a temporary plaster that is poisoning your soul. I can't remember what I was saying. See, this is because I have ADHD. Now, that is another topic. So if you are neurodivergent, you are going to have lower dopamine chemicals in your body, which means you will either so there are some people out there that can go to the pub, I've known them, they can have 3 or 4 pints, put it down, although their body is still getting fucked up. They've not really made too much difference in their life. They're kind of like on the borderline, and they go home and they get a kebab and they go home into the Sunday dinner or whatever they do, right? They've been doing that for years. But then there's someone like me with ADHD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, flat out, don't know where I am, promiscuous, fucking beating someone up. Maybe I'm going to wake up in the cells. I don't know what's going to happen to me today, right? My point is, especially if you have got ADHD or trauma, you don't drink. Just don't fucking do it to yourself. Love yourself more. Do not get emotional on the camera, Mandy. Do not get emotional. Love yourself more. Why are you harming yourself like that? Do you know why we have hangovers? Everyone's just gotten so used to, oh, it's just a hangover. Yeah, I just feel shit. I'm going to be all right. As you age, the hangovers, like, not one day hangover. You got like 1 week till you're normal, right? That's your body saying this shit is bad for you. That's your brain saying this is not good. You have literally depleted your natural energy source. You can be so. Everyone says to me, "Oh my God, man, you got such high energy. You got like something about you, a big spark." I didn't when I was drinking. I did not when I was drinking. No. I would be like a little recluse. I don't want to speak to anyone. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to hear anyone for like a fucking week until I'm back again. Woohoo! I'm back. No. It's terrible. Addiction is terrible. It's a liar. It's a thief. And it's abusing you. And if it doesn't affect your life in that way, I'm telling you, you're going to end up with something wrong with your body. I've got a family member who drank a lot. And she's 3 years older than me. And she had a stroke. Okay? So, it didn't affect your life in many ways, but it did affect your physical health. Crazy. I realised that I was on one subject of saying something that was so important, and then I got like distracted in my own brain. I distract myself. I don't even need anyone to distract me. I distract myself. So much for me doing my